示すとき、どんな困難があろうとも私は突き進みますわ。何より直文様の盾になりたいというのに、このぐらい勝てなくてどうするのです。
あいつの娘。
直文様を種馬扱いなどと聞き捨てなりません。
What's going on, everyone? We're here to talk today about Shield Hero episode number 3 of season 4. And to review this week's episode, it's a little rough. And the reason is this was a very transitional episode. Like, outside of Atla, which, don't get me wrong, I love Atla. One of my favorite characters on the show. I think that the introduction of her is awesome. I love that this episode, like, she just took over. But the reality is she took over at the end of episode number 2. We picked up with her taking over in episode number 3. And when I say take over, right, she's talking to the people of 𝐜𝐴𝐴. She's talking to the, the round table. She's basically putting them in their place or whatever. And we basically end this episode with virtually the same thing, but the only difference is that she formally how do you say it? She formally challenges the main tiger or the main lion guy, and because of that, now they're gonna have a duel, and the duel is going to decide what Naofumi and his group do moving forward. Now, the one 𝐒𝐴𝐴 about it is that the lion dude employed a Minotaur who was part of the prior war, and the Minotaur, the reason he's fighting is because his daughter wants to, either marry or be a concubine, or, Naofumi's allowed to have multiple wives or whatever. So she just wants to be one of them for Naofumi. So at this point, Naofumi's staking the game is like, yo, Atla, like, yo, y'all better y'all better win, you know what I mean? So he's tripping. He's like, yo, y'all better win right now. So he's telling Atla, he's telling Full, like, yo, y'all put the pedal to, we can't lose this one. So that's how the episode ended. But really before that was just a bunch of back and forth about Atla kind of re-inspiring the people of 𝐜𝐴𝐴, and telling them that you guys didn't start off as this kingdom. Like, you started off just how Naofumi's village started off now, but you keep disregarding what he founded and in where he founded. Like, we're part of that, and we're beast folk, and he doesn't treat us any different. Like, he accepted everybody there. Like, his village is about unity and not about racial divide, and even within the beast folk there's racial divide. Like, they have the tiger set, the lion set, whatever. Like, they have these racial divides among themselves. So anyways, Atla puts them in their place, and then they end up with the duel, and then we're going to see where that ends up landing. Now, I'm summarizing the episode because there's a lot of oh, who poisoned this, and oh, this guy poisoned, and this guy did this, and a lot of back and forth. But really, outside of that, nothing else happened this episode, and it was a little disappointing just because, I feel like we wasted time. I feel like they really could have shortened this 20 minutes of content, 21 minutes of content. They could have shortened this down to 10 and then gotten us to the duel. But we spent the majority, of the 21 minutes, we spent the majority of that just going back and forth over nothing and then landing on a duel. So I just felt like it could have been really, it could have been really shortened. It could have just been really shortened down. And yeah, I just felt like it wasted my time. And this is the first episode of season 3 where I'm like, ugh. And don't get me wrong, I've told you guys before, I love the politics stuff. I love the, I love all that stuff. I like yappy when it comes to politics and world building. But I really felt like this one was stretched. This is the first out of the 3 episodes this season where I feel like they kind of did a disservice to me as a viewer. I'm invested, I'm giving you my time, and you should give me back a good product. And with Shield Hero, there's enough source. There's all the source material you want. There's enough source material to where they don't have to elongate or stretch out a piece of content that only took up maybe a few pages or a couple pages. You know what I mean? I don't feel like they have to do that because there's so much content to adapt. So that's my problem this episode. Is I felt like it didn't respect me as a viewer, and when I feel slighted, I'm just like, I hate that feeling, because I'm like, there's enough to adapt. That it's not like, oh, chapters just came out and we're just we're adapting the chapter right before that, so we got to stretch it out to make sure we have enough time. Kind of like a Dragon Ball, One Piece, Naruto scenario. No, these shows have like years of time before like the chapters have come out versus when they adapt. That's why there's such a big time frame. So anyways, I don't know. This episode sucked is what I'm trying to get at. But, like I said, the core of what's here, right? Atla stepping up. Atla, kind of taking a demanding role. Atla kind of putting herself, whether Naofumi likes it or not, like she's putting herself like at like the number 2 position right behind Raftalia. Obviously Philo is there, but she's not in the same, like as far as like commanding a position. It's Raftalia. I think Atla's there, and then you have Philo, and then Philo is more just like feelings and stuff like that. It's less about like kind of mandating what Naofumi does and doesn't do. So I like that for Atla's growth, but I really feel like this could have been 10 minutes of content, but they stretched it out to 20. So overall, I think this was a 6 out of 10 episode, but I am really liking season 3 because I like the politics. I like seeing how Naofumi's going to navigate his new position. I enjoy all of that. So overall, I think they're nailing it with season 4, but just don't disrespect us as viewers who are giving you, our time, money, and everything else that goes with it. It's like, let's respect that and adapt appropriately. Like, you don't need to stretch out a chapter into an episode. Like, we can cover a little bit more content. Don't overdo it, but just, there's a balance there. And by season 4, they should have that balance down. All right, my friends, I'm gonna see you guys next week. Peace out.